It is one of those things, though. I think they're the way Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic are sort of being played. They're two very different games. Yu-Gi-Oh is sort of
Right.
more like I build board, break my board, whereas Magic's more you can have more of that interaction with the player. Although Konami now in more recent years have been doing more things like hand traps, cards that can activate during your opponent's turn in the hand. They are doing that more hand trappy type sort of thing, but Magic's been more of a let's play a game rather than I will watch you for 20 minutes build a board and then I will raw spear mode your whole board and make you cry.
Yeah.
Like, if we really want to go down to gameplay styles, like it is, the games are very different. Like, the best way I could describe this is Magic is a very game of chess. I get the feeling I'm going to get hatred for finishing the rest of my statement
So
here
we
just because.
chess, so we chess masters like, "Eh."
No, but realistically, like, when you break the game down, a game of Magic is about a base thing. Lower your opponent's life total or win by a game mechanic. Like, it is. It's like, but when you sit down to play a game of Magic, you may have a strategy yourself, but you also kind of have to go about figuring out how to get around your opponent's strategy if it's better, like completely stops yours to make yours win as well. And it's not something that can be done in maybe one turn. You have to sit and go, right, I need to make this go here first. Like, this has to align this way, or my opponent has to go, right, I need him to fulfill this board first to get most out of my value to bring it back so I'm in control. Well, I find Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a more fast-paced game. And the fact it is, as you say, I build a board. Because 9 times out of 10 in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you build this big board, you've used quite a lot of resources and quite a lot of, like, your standing for trying to come back afterwards is lost in the like, it's a trade-off for making them boards is like your recovery isn't that great.
Yeah, it's like you're putting all your eggs in all the one eggs in the one basket, like and hope that your opponent doesn't have an answer. Realistically, that's what it
I
is.
like it's more of a blunt force game of who can do it better.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to oversimplify the games, but like it sounds like I'm being cruel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I'm not trying to be cruel in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just trying to
you're right,
point out.
but you're right,
I'm
but
trying to point out that it takes two different mindsets to sit down and play both games. Like, one
well,
game, no,
unless you're me,
like,
because back in the day, I would shout out three Mem Knights, three Ornith thought there in Signal Fest and win second turn, but
I,
that's just because.
like, Magic has those make my board, break it, and I lose. Same thing. Like, we just call them aggro decks, you know, or quick turn decks. But again, like, but it's still a game though. Like, in that deck though, you still had tools at your disposal to kind of go at your opponent and go, right, I do have ways to actually still win and,
Yeah,
like, still maintain that kind of constant aggression or
it's
constant
normally like instead of
complaints.
like Yu-Gi-Oh is very first turn, second turn based. It's like
Mm,
if you don't have an answer like right away, you're dead. Whereas Magic, it's like it could be at least the eighth turn by the time anyone's actually doing anything that's remotely scary. You know,
ah,
realistically, like so you can't. It's like you can get to an answer, or by the time it's come around, you've maybe done something that kind of already answers it.
mm.
Realistically, like, you can play like a good enchantment that just goes no to that, or you've already pathed something, or you've lightning bolt something, or like there's always kind of like an answer. Realistically, I think that's the nice thing about Magic. It's like you at least have the chance to answer something. Do you know what I mean?
You're not like it's the one thing. Like, as my nuance, like, I still play both games this day, but it's the one thing I always enjoy more. It's like you always feel like like, I don't know if anyone else would be the same, but when I sit down to play a game of Magic, I know I'm actually no matter if I'm playing some massive pricey deck that is just absolutely amazing. Like, I still will have an interesting game trying to figure out my own ways around it.
Yeah.
Well, if I sat down in Yu-Gi-Oh! And tried to do the same, I'm just going to be told, no, I win, get away. Like, that's the feeling you get when that kind of comes up. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched, like, in our locals, I've watched it so many times. I've watched, like, the younger ones and all that there come up against the bigger player, like the older players and that there, with these big, well-constructed decks. And the kids are, yes, maybe the kids, yes, shouldn't be playing with the adults. That is a different thing entirely. But, like, what it must be like to sit in their shoes, to sit and look at this. Like, it's not a very nice thing. I do think, like, it's not very nice. It's the entire, like, yes, I get the games to be about winning, but 9 times out of 10 with Yu-Gi-Oh, I do see, like, there's a point made on just going, I can do this. You're, like, as blunt as it is, like, they just kind of go, I can do this. I don't care what else. You shouldn't be playing. Get out of my sight and let me play someone real. Just to do the exact same thing. I'm just like,
Yeah. I think it gets to the point where it's like I've seen people get really, 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 really angry over you, like, and they're like, I can't believe they pulled, they're like, I can't believe they asked me, I can't believe they combo agreed me halfway through my strategy. If they didn't have it, I would have won. Like, obviously, if they didn't have it, you probably would have won. But it's like, it's got to the point now, where you can't get angry at Yu-Gi-Oh because if you don't have an answer, you're kind of dead. You can't get angry at it. That's just how it is. Again, if your opponent doesn't have an answer and you've beat them, you can't gloat. It's like we're at that level. It's like everyone. It's like we're at that level now in the game where it's like, yeah, draw your hand, and if you could show it to your opponent and go to game 2. You know what I mean?
We'll do a famous thing where it was, fun enough, it was me and yourself, Jacob. We both had the incredibly meta deck at the time, Orcus, when it first came out. And put it this way, like, to anyone like would have sat down and watched our game, like, this was even, like, we can put our hands up to this, and this was in a tournament. We did this. We got drew against each other, and the first thing we did was did a dice roll to see who went first. And instead of drawing 5 cards, we just drew 5 cards off the top of our deck and showed them both and went through, because we had said who's going first and who's going second, and went, well, I don't have this, you win. Proceeded to do the sideboarding, decided who was going first, second, did the exact same, and that's how we decided who won a match. Because it did boil down to that, and it wasn't for arrogance or cockiness. Like, there was just no point to spend, like, the extra 10 minutes shuffling and going through these combos to have the same.
It was literally, do you have Babel or a Twin Twister? Yes. Okay, you win. Literally, no, that's what it was. Like, it was game 3, and I opened Twin Twister and Babel, and was like, I'm sorry, Chris, I win.
No, because you opened, because the Galatea always got the Babel at this point. This was before, everyone was just like, oh, Galatea only gets Crescendo. That, we don't understand why it didn't.
This was before the deck was good.
Yeah. And everyone kept reading at it, but, like, so it always got Babel at this point. But if you drew a second copy of Babel, the Twin Twister didn't really matter. Because you're like, it's being destroyed. I still got my resource back, and I'll just play another one, and you've now lost your answer to me. So, GG.
And that's a bad thing, but that is a problem. It's a problem. And it was funny. Like, me and you laughed at that. But it was funny. But
it was so true. Like, as much as we made such a joke about it, it was so true. Like, it was literally irrelevant of our time to sit and go through, draw 5, and go, well, I summon this knight, I summon Armageddon Knight or Grapher, go through this, Harp Horror, Symbol Skeleton, da-da-da-da-da, Topple Logic, Babel, Long Ursu, wait, Symbol Skeleton, normally Symbol Skeleton, Harp Horror, and maybe a Brass Bombard if you're lucky, just with still something in your hand. Like, and you're just like, I am blowing the board every time you try and put it together. for God knows how long. And I still have 3 back row here sitting. So there are also answers, by the way. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's no point of continuing this. And, like, I mind, like, I think it was around that time. I don't think it was with Orcus, but it was with a different deck. And I played a wee kid with it. And I intentionally didn't do it. Because, like, if I was younger, I do think, like, Magic players aren't as guilty of it. Yes, they're still as guilty of it, but I don't think to the biggest degree as Yu-Gi-Oh players, especially in a tournament setting. Like, they're very harsh to the ones just starting out and trying to get into the scene. Like, none of us started in a tournament scene brilliant. If someone said they did, they're utter balls lying to you. For no one knows how they're going to act in a tournament set until they do it. Well, I see Yu-Gi-Oh players that when they get paired against someone younger or inexperienced to them, they just flaunt it just because they can.
Yeah.
And that's just not a nice, it's not nice to teach someone either. To do that,
Yeah.
they actually prove who, like, oh, I'm good at this, you're shit, now move away. It's like, I just don't like that concept. I never did. And there's been many a time that I just go, well, I have all this, but I'm going to play at their level. And yeah, if they win, they win. So what, I know I could have just did my whole big thing and they win. But that's not, again, it is a game, but you don't have to be arrogant about it at the same time.
It's meant to be. I think the one thing that people have lost, and
Humility.
it's not. It's well, yeah, obviously, but like whenever we were younger, well, me, and like I can speak for myself, obviously, but like whenever I was younger and I first started playing the game, it was fun. But it was
Aye.
fun because you actually kind of got something out of it. Like you were genuinely having fun playing the game. But like now, I find that the word fun now is the deck that's the most consistent. And
Yeah.
I hear it all the time from a lot of our ones at locals, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to pick up X, Y, and Z because it looks fun." You're not picking it up because it looks fun. You're picking it up because you know it'll win. You know, it's like picking up a deck because it's fun would be like me because I have a big affinity for it. It'd be like me picking up Vylon because I actually genuinely enjoy playing it. Like, but I can't I like say now like I know that there are a few people that are like, oh, I'm going to pick up Eldritch because it looks fun. So you're not picking it up because it looks fun. It doesn't really do anything. Like, you can't, like, you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh for fun if you're playing on a competitive level, obviously, like, but I think the people that don't play at a competitive level but think that they do play at a competitive level, they're like, oh, this deck's fun, I'm going to win locals, I'm going to be the big man. I mean, like, I'm sure we're not alone, like, but, like,
No, no. Like,
but you see
again,
it, you can't have fun. Like I have fun whenever I'm playing with you guys, right? Because you guys know that I don't play big decks. I don't like. I can make some pretty disgusting boards with
like,
like something like Ball Chalice, but it's
when you
not
play with me,
unbeatable.
I always build a meta deck, but I don't build, like, when we're all playing together, yeah, I always normally tend to have a meta deck somewhere along a process of lines. I don't know why, it just kind of always happens.
You like shiny things.
Yeah, I do, but I don't build the pure meta build of it. Like, I never once have had a full entire meta deck. Yes, I've had a meta archetype,